Hello grade 10s, welcome back to another interesting video. So this is the first video for economics for 2025. So the topics that we'll be dealing with on today's video, we're going to be dealing with basic concepts of economics. We'll do what is economics, which is topic 1. We'll do the basic concepts, the methods of economics, and the settling of economics within the field. And then we'll do basic economic problems. So I will do these two topics in this one video. So the other topics that you'll be doing for term 1 will be the circular flow and quantitative elements, and then the business cycle. So I will link the video to business cycle in the description box down below, and the one to say business cycles, I will link it in the description down below. It has been already recorded last year, so please check that out. Now, without wasting any more of our time, let's get into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So what is economics? Economics is a study of how individual businesses, governments, and other organizations within our society choose to use scarce resources to satisfy their unlimited needs, wants, and needs. So that is what economics is the study of how these limited resources that we have on earth can be best used by individuals, businesses, government, and other organizations in the society to satisfy their unlimited needs and wants. People have unlimited needs and wants, and these needs and wants have to be satisfied. Let's look at land in South Africa, or what can be produced. We cannot produce enough in a country to satisfy our unlimited needs and wants. So there are some maize. Let's talk for maize instance. A lot of people in South Africa consume maize as a staple starch. So sometimes the maize we have in the country is not enough for all of us, and we have to export from other countries. So that is how are we going to best use the resources that we have to satisfy our unlimited needs and wants. Even if it's you, as a grade 10, you are getting money from your parents, 50 rand, you have so many needs and wants, but you're just going to see how best you can use this 50 rand in order for you to satisfy your unlimited needs and wants. Okay, so resources are limited, so we need to know how to work with them without wasting them. And because we cannot satisfy all our wants and needs, we learn to make choices about which needs to satisfy and which to not. If you have 2,000 rand, there are things that you cannot be able to buy with that money which you need, but you prioritize what you need or want the most. And then we have the economic problem. So the basic economic problem is scarcity. Scarcity, what is scarcity? A scarcity is something not being available in abundance. Something is not there in large quantities. That is scarcity. It's scarce. So resources are quite scarce. And the problem arises because resources are scarce, but human wants are unlimited. So there is a problem, an economic problem. We have scarce resources, but our needs and wants as people, businesses, government are a lot. Our wants and needs are more than the resources to satisfy them. So humans only have a limited amount of money, yet they have lots of needs and wants to satisfy. So money is scarce. Like you have to choose between shopping, DVD, and a holiday. Here you have money. Money needs to see whether it will go shopping, it will buy DVDs, or it will go towards a holiday. So government also has limited amounts of money and is unable to satisfy all its wants. So this is for an individual. Let's say this is government. The government has 440 billion rands. How much is it going to spend towards school, which is education? How much is it going to spend towards health? And how much is it going to spend towards police, which is protection? You see, so the government has money, but it has to make choices on which one needs the most money. So the economic question is, what should be produced? What should we produce? How should it be produced? And whom will produce it? That is the economic question. So what should be produced in order to satisfy these limited needs and wants? So there are branches of economics. There is microeconomics. Look at individual decisions. Macro is small, while micro is big. So micro looks at individual decisions. Remember, in business studies, macro is a small, micro is not macro, micro is small, it's within a business, so it looks at individual. When we talk about microeconomics, we look at individual people. And then when we're talking about macroeconomics, is the study so it studies the operations of the economy, so it's a country as a whole. So scarcity, the limited supply of resources relative to people's needs and want, is an issue in both macro and microeconomics. So economics can be further subdivided into various sectors. There is monetary economics study, they study money. There's public sector economics study, so they study the role of government economics, way of government in economics. There is development economics, studies policies and strategies that help developing countries to grow. So it's labor economics, trade, the demand and supply of labor and its effect on the economy. And then there's environmental economics, looks at issues which affect environment. And then there's international economics, it studies international trade and finance. So the approach of economics, economists study the world around them and gather the facts and observation about how people behave when they produce, exchange, and consume goods and services. So economists use what they observe to create theories and principles. They either make deductions by drawing up theories and testing them against the facts to see whether or certainly theory fits the fact. So if there is a certain thing that people believe, economists will test it to see if it's true. So economics study how people behave with regards to money. Then the methods of economics. The methods of economics is economic model. An economic model is an attempt to explain or predict how a set of circumstances will behave in a variable change. So positive and normative statements. In economics, we have something that we call positive and normative statements. So economic models or economic methods or methods of economics, it's how economics can be studied. How can economics be put into practice? So we do that by positive and normative statements. A positive economics deals with objective explanation and the testing and rejection of theories. So with positive economics, we test things to know whether they are like that. So we just don't go with things, we test. For example, a rise in consumer income will lead to a rise in demand for new cars. So if people or consumers have more money, they will be buying cars. It's a positive economics. Or a fall in exchange rate will lead to an increase in exports overseas. So if interest rates, the dollar goes down, then people will buy more outside because it's now cheaper to the exchange rate is now cheaper. We can buy in America, for instance, where we're here in South Africa. But if the exchange rates, the dollar is so high, bigger than the rand, then we are not encouraged. So that is a positive economics. And then the level of duty on petrol is often too unfair and unfairly penalizes motorists. The government should increase the national minimum wage of 60 to 60 rand an hour in order to reduce relative poverty. So that one we can take it as a normative statement. This one's at the bottom. And then we have scientific method. They formulate a question. When you're using the scientific method, you formulate a question, you ask people a question, you conduct investigation, you write the question down, you go and ask people, and then you look at their responses and then draw a conclusion. So difficulties faced by economics is a social science. So economists study how people behave with regards to money. It is a difficult field of study because people all think and behave differently. It is difficult to run a control test to see how people would react to change because people are not going to give the same answer. They are different. It is difficult to change just one variable and keep all other variables constant. So economists are often biased. Results are less precise than in physical sciences. So they mostly can take a side and generalize on that side, while other, because more people have voted for it, even when there are other people who don't like that opinion or decision. The settling of economics within the field, economics and other sciences. So economics overlaps other subject because economics studies people and their behavior. So economics includes a lot of subject in it. It has accounting, business studies, commercial law, mathematics, and finance. Even you can find out that there's more than even these 4 listed ones. So that's how economics is. It can include studies, numbers, businesses, law, mathematics, and finance. So relationship with other science and career opportunities. How does economics relate with other careers? Is that economists, when you go and study to be an economist at the university, is useful for many career choices. The table in your textbook shows how economics overlaps with other fields of study and how this provides career opportunities. So career opportunities using economics can be found in statistics. You can be a statist, you can do statistics, you can have mathematics, information technology. You can be involved in this field with economics. You can be involved in statistics, mathematics, information technology, law, politics, sociology, and geography. So you can try to answer this question 1 and question 2. Now we're on topic 2, which is the basic economic problem. So I hope you understood topic 1. It's all about what is economics. So the problem of scarcity. There's something we call absolute scarcity and relative scarcity. So absolute scarcity exists when we have enough resources to buy a good, but it is just not available. Money is there, that is absolute scarcity. But we just cannot be able to buy the product because the product is not available. We see sometimes Apple, people have to order Apple phones. That is absolute scarcity. They have the money, but just that the item is out of stock. And then we have relative scarcity. It exists when there are enough goods to satisfy a population's needs, but most of the population are poor. So there is food, there is maize, but people are not able to afford it. That is relative scarcity. And then let's talk about economic goods and free goods. So free goods are those we don't pay for. Anything we don't pay for, like sunlight, rain, it's free good. And then economic goods are produced at a certain cost. So free goods we do not pay for, but economic goods we pay for, electricity, maize mill, and so on. So there are alternatives and opportunity cost. Choice is part of economic problem. So there are alternatives and opportunity cost. If you have 40 rand in your pocket, you can decide to spend it in a number of ways. You can save all of it, use some of it. Okay. You can choose how to spend your money. There are number of alternatives you can consider, but you cannot do everything. You know that. So you can't do anything. You have to choose. Individuals, if we plant a potato in our gardens, we have less room for carrots. So you have to plant. You have a garden. You have to check what will you plant more. That's how individuals make decisions. And then for firms, if the resource of a chocolate factory are used to make milk chocolate, then they have less resources available for plain chocolate. You see? And then for government, if more schools are built, there is less money for hospitals. So it's always, something will always outweigh the other. So these are examples of opportunity cost. Assume I have 1,000 to spend and I can only buy magazines at 25 rand each, or a takeaway bagger also at 25 rand each. Then I can use my money in several ways. If I buy 4 baggers, how many magazines can I buy? None. Complete the chart underneath showing the different choices you can make with the 100 rand. So if I buy 4 baggers, I will have how many? 0 magazines. If I buy 3 baggers, I can buy 1 magazine. If I buy 2 baggers, I can buy 2 magazines. If I buy 1 bagger, I can buy 3 magazines. If I buy 0 baggers, I can buy 4 magazines. So who is making the choice? Business, government, individual. What they choose. Businesses have to make a choice to choose new computers, new workers, or office party. And then government has a choice to choose between employment benefit or weapons. And then individuals have to choose between a Mars bar, t-shirt, or beach holiday. And then the opportunity cost, what they could have had was new fax, delivery van, pay for, boss. But they would rather choose these 3 things rather than what they could not have. So an opportunity cost is what you had missed. New roads, more hospitals. So that is how we discuss that table. So we have the 3 basic processes in a modern economy. So there's production, exchange, and consumption. Those are the 3 basic processes in a modern economy. So the 4 production factors, we know them as the factors of production. We have the 4 factors of production is land, labor, and then the number 2 is labor, number 3 is capital. You did them in grade 9, you know them in grade 8 as well. And then we have entrepreneurship. Those are the 4 factors of production, or the 4 production factors. And then we also have the public sector. Public sector has private sector and the public sector. The public sector is the government, and the private sector is private individuals who have their own businesses. Formal and informal sector. The formal sector, this is made up of all the registered businesses. That is a formal sector. Informal sector is made up of businesses that are not registered, such as street vendors. Primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors of the economy. So the primary sector involves collecting raw materials, and then secondary is processing them into finished product. Getting wood to make it's a primary. Going and cutting the trees, processing the tree into a wood is the secondary sector. And then now having wood to sell, it's tertiary. And then let's talk about consumption. People and businesses consume 2 types of goods. So people and businesses use 2 types of goods, which are capital goods, which are goods that are used to produce other goods. So they're capital goods. We use them to produce other goods. It's raw material. Let's say it's flour, can be capital goods because we can use it to make fat cakes. And then consumer goods, which are goods that are final goods we buy from the shop. So we do not need to do anything to them, like washing powder. We use capital goods to produce consumer goods. Types of goods. There are different types of goods. You should know them. So everything in this video is very important. You can be asked for question 1 in the question paper, where you are asked to give 1 word, true or false, or match. So there are 3 types of consumer goods. We have durable goods, semi-durable, non-durable, and services. So the goods are 3, and then number 4 is service. So there are 3 types of goods. Durable goods, which are goods that can be used over time. For example, a refrigerator. So durable goods, durability. When something has durability, it can be used for a certain time. It can stand the test of time. But semi-durable do not last a long time. Like footwear, like such as clothing, they take a long time, but not like durable goods. And then non-durable goods, which also include perishable goods, it's like bread, like fruits, they do not last long. And then for service include items such as banking, healthcare, telecommunications, entertainment, and transport. There are three types of consumers. Consumers are people who use this goods that we have. People who use the goods are consumers. When I have a business, people who are buying from me are called consumers. Households, which mainly spend their income on durable goods, perishable goods, and services. And then businesses, which mainly spend their money to invest in capital, raw material, machines, and building for their production processes. And then their government, which mainly spend its money on public goods, for example, national park, street lights, roads, and merit goods. For example of merit goods are education, and then public goods are national parks, street lighting, and roads. So let's talk about exchanging and bartering. Disposable income is one income we have to spend after tax has been deducted. Disposable income is money that you get to spend. If your mother gives you 50 rand, that 50 rand is your disposable income. You can spend it on whenever you want. So exchange rate is how much you buy to get a dollar. How much does a dollar cost? Let's say for you to have $1, you need 12 rand. So the money you're using to buy the dollar is an exchange rate. Yeah, exchanging is getting something for something. Bartering is a system whereby I give you a bottle and I want a bottle. You don't have a bottle. You want a bottle and I have the bottle, and I also want a table and you have a table. So you give me a table, I give you the bottle. That is bartering. They do not have. It's not always fair because goods of not the same value are exchanged. So we exchange goods that are not of the same value. The other one is gaining while the other one is like not gaining that much. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next one.